Good afternoon, Miss Niko.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. And what is it do you do?
Up until recently, I freelanced as a production assistant in the film business, but I recently quit in order to produce my own projects.
What type of projects are you working with?
We have my partner Larry and I. We have 3 projects we're working on right now: 2 features and a television pilot. The very last movie I worked on is called Life Support. It's for HBO. Queen Latifah and Wendell Pierce from The Wire. Darren DeWitt Henson. Tony Rock. I'm trying to remember everybody in it.
Tony Rock. There's a lot of people in that movie.
And prior to that, I worked on The Wire down in Baltimore.
Oh, The Wire. That was the 4th season of The Wire, right?
It was the 4th season, yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It's hard. It's a hard show to work on because what you see on the show is really what it is. You know, we don't dirty down the neighborhoods and stuff. Like, we really shoot in those neighborhoods and we really shoot in those conditions. So it's hard, but I loved it because the people were amazing. So, like, the crew and the cast, they were so great to work with. So we shot for 9 months.
9 months of shooting.
Yes, away from home.
All in the Baltimore area?
All in Baltimore, which is nice. Like, I like that about the show because, you know, I mean, especially living in New York, I hate seeing, like, a CSI New York, and you know that they're shooting, like, 5 days in New York for a whole, you know, a whole season almost. So I like that about The Wire, is that they care about Baltimore. It's about Baltimore. They shoot in Baltimore. Do you know what I mean? So I really enjoy that about the show.
So I guess there's a lot of Baltimore talent in front of and behind the scenes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, people will be surprised that there is, I mean, the crew base there is so amazing. I mean, because there is work that goes there. I mean, there's John Waters goes there, a lot of things in D.C., and a lot of things shot in Virginia. I mean, I used to live in Virginia, and I got my start in this business in Virginia, so I know that it's there, but it's always weird to me that people from, like, L.A. or sometimes even New York are shocked that there's actually that kind of talent down there, but there really is.
How many episodes did you shoot when you were down there? Do you remember?
13.
13 episodes. About how long was each episode take?
We shot 8 days each episode. And then of course we had hiatuses, and maybe a couple episodes might have gone a little longer just because of content and time-wise and stuff like that.
And how was that done? Pretty much, does every episode have the same director, or does it change? Or?
No, we have a different director each episode. There are some directors that came back and did more than one episode. Ernest Dickerson directed twice for the season, but each episode, just because it's so much. I mean, you watch the show, there's so much information in each episode that it's just it would be too much for that same director to have to shoot and then try to carry on over into. I mean, even our first and ADs switch each episode because it's so much stuff. So,
tell us of any memorable experiences you had down there in Baltimore for those long months. On set experiences.
I'm sitting here trying to think of things to not get anybody in trouble. No, I'm kidding. Glad to have been able to experience it, to see it, and to film in it, and to film realistically in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like being with that crew and with that cast in this environment was such a memorable experience because you get to see, like, how real people are, you know, because you get to see who kind of interacts with the community around, you know, in a certain way. And it was just, everybody there really cares about people of Baltimore, and it was just really nice, and that's what's such a memorable experience for me. And, like, the writers and producers, like, I know there's been a lot of criticism about the show, about how it portrays Baltimore in a bad light, but I think if you really watch the show, these people love Baltimore, and I think that it's clear, and I think that they're saying, this is a part of Baltimore that needs to change. This is a part of Baltimore that's sad, and this is a part of Baltimore that hurts me, so I'm going to show you this, and let's change it. You know what I mean? I of course, was a fan of The Wire. I mean, my best friend, my friend and my business partner, Larry, was on the show, so of course I watched the show from the very beginning, and I was such a fan of it. And sometimes when you watch television, especially working in it, you kind of get, you know, you have a tainted view of stuff, and you're like, oh, it's not really like that. It's all Hollywood, and it's really not with The Wire. I mean, I have been sitting there waiting to invite actors to set, and I've seen someone buy drugs and then take a bump right in front of me because they couldn't even make it to the corner, or wherever they live to take their bump, and I've seen it. Like, I've been looking down an alley where it looks like Amsterdam, and it's literally the most depressing place I've ever been. It really is, and it's sad because the people there, obviously they don't want it to be like that, and it's just a matter of that something that's going to help them, maybe governmentally wise, I'm sure, is what it's going to take, what's going to happen. But it's interesting. But the producers, I have so much respect for them just because they really care about the community so much. And like at Christmas time, every Christmas they throw this huge party in the neighborhoods that, like in the main neighborhood we shoot in, they throw this huge party in this church where they have all the children in the community come out. They make gift bags for them with like all their school supplies for this year and stuff like that. And like this year, Frankie Faison, who's Commissioner Burrell, was Santa Claus. Alicia, who's one of our wardrobe women, she was Mrs. Claus. Andre Royo, whose Bubbles, was Rudolph, which is hilarious because he was in this really hot outfit. And and all the actors, most of the actors came out and they were something, you know what I mean? And it's nice to see that. It's just nice to see that.
How did you get the job?
Anthony Hemingway was the first AD. Because like I said, they alternate. So it's Anthony Hemingway and then Shelley Ziegler. And I've worked with him before, and he's fantastic. I love him. And I feel bad because he's no longer an AD, so I feel bad for PAs that'll never be able to work with him as an AD because he is the best. But he obviously is their first AD, and then Greg Gilman was their second, and they were going down and asked me if I would come run first team for them. And you can't say no to Anthony.
So what is running first team?
I'm basically the mom of the actors. I coordinate the actors' wardrobe and hair and makeup and make sure that the actor's ready to be on set when they're ready to shoot them, film them, I should say.
So basically every actor that was on The Wire for the last season came through you? Yes,
all 389 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Were any of them in particular, anything you want to share about any of these actors? Any of these, were they funny?
They're hilarious. I'm telling you, like I've done first team a lot. That's my forte, I guess you can say, when it came to PA. This group of actors was literally, without a doubt, the best group of actors I've ever worked with. They were so much fun. They're just... Andre Royo alone is... The thing about me is that I think I'm funny. And I think I'm really good with the whole witty comeback thing. Andre is really good at it too, so I loved when he worked because he would get on my nerves because he was so good at it, but he kept me sharp, he kept me on my toes. And Frankie Faison actually is the same way. Like, he's just quick. His first day working, I had a huge pimple on my forehead, and he comes up to me and he goes, Niko, you're such a pretty girl. And I said, thanks, Frankie. And he goes, but it's such a shame that when guys look at you, all they see is that big thing on your forehead. You know what I mean? So this is like what I have to deal with every time. But I loved it. Like, I loved it. And they're just